And good evening. Welcome to the Faned Football Show. Shane, you're a spinny wheel. Shane is a spinny wheel in my existence. How are we doing? Add to the stage.
Fuck.
Shane, are you with us?
Yeah, have you? It's coming and going. It's back there now.
Coming and going, Faned living. If you needed an example of rural living, there you have it, just in a bottle there, folks. Anyway, you're very welcome to the Faned Football Show. So, Shane, who are you? Who do you like? And he's gone. Let's see what's going on here.
Let's go through. Yeah.
And are we back?
Aye.
Are we good?
I can hear you all right. I can't see. There's no image, obviously. There's no video on your end.
No, it's the real reason.
Aye. Yeah.
I am.
Are they a bit? Are these a bit glitchy in general?
Well, let's just say it's not the most professional system out there. Like no
Yes.
digs at StreamYard, but it's got its kinks, Shane. In all honesty. So we'll begin with a bit of an intro from yourself, please, Shane.
The name's Shane. Lifelong United fan. Pet hates are people call them average players, world class, and I'm here to educate you all on how much I have peppers.
I think if there's one thing that Shane's most passionate about, and I think finally came to fruition last season, was indeed Pep is a fraudulent spoofer and just throws money out and improves nobody. So you'll have seen me before. I'm Barry, lifelong Red, and the thing that brings me and Shane together really is just absolute obsession about each one another's club. To be honest, and me and him have locked heads for years now, and the voice notes go back and forth, and quite frankly, they're just too good to keep behind the walls of private WhatsApp conversations now. So here now to be displayed in the public venue to hear out these strong opinions, and I think it's only there to be enjoyed. So Shane, we're here to talk about one very big occasion, and that is the big kickoff this coming weekend. How are you feeling?
Quietly optimistic, I suppose. At United at the lowest ebb in my life, and Liverpool at the highest. But I can see Liverpool walking it, to be honest. But I think United will be surprised if you, to be fair.
Aye. me personally, I think from a position of strength and from a position of walking the league last season, I think Liverpool is the starting point for who you pick for your league champions for the upcoming season. And just to spend a brief moment on Man United, coming from 15th, I think the business that they've done is quite frankly astounding. And a forward line that was like completely devoid of ideas and completely unproven and was not going to ever be afforded the time to work out the kinks. I think they at least thrown immense funds behind some exquisite talent. So I'm certainly not contemplating a title tussle with Man United this season, but I think it's a wide open race for the Champions League spots this summer. So I think United should be back in the conversation. Of course, I have my ideas of what United still need to do, and I'm sure you have yours. So starting with the Donnarumma news, I think that started off quite quiet for Man United, and now it has indeed kind of gone cold. Where's Gianluigi Donnarumma going to end up, Shane?
Well, Pep needs 4 players for every position, so he's going to go to City. I've never seen a manager getting so many players, making so many mistakes himself. Like, it's laid at my door all the time that United spend a fortune every summer, but usually they're one manager's trying to outdo the mistakes from before. But I think it's mad. He should let if he was not going to play Trafford, he should let him go to Newcastle when he was going. But that's the Messiah all over. He needs well, obviously sarcasm with the 4 players, but he needs 2 for every position and 2 very good players for every position as well. But I think it's mental the way that he's leaving PSG. To be honest, I don't think you should play like that in the Champions League final. Look at the man we have played in the Champions League final, and he gets a move, and I don't understand it at all. To be honest, that's madness to play that well and to be get rid of. But it's their loss. It'll be City's gain. But then, does he not like a man that can play out from the back or play on the ground? I don't think Donnarumma can do that.
To be fair, it's not his first quality. That's for sure. He's a large man and physically imposing goalkeeper, and in terms of a personality, a lot more tough, rigid personality to throw between the sticks instead of Andre Onana. I think he's a Ten Hag signing, and he's got to follow Ten Hag out the door, I'm afraid, because the catalogue of errors it's just too abundant to continue with. On all honesty, and I think the move, for Donnarumma probably should have been pursued, because in terms of top goalkeeper talent that's achievable this summer, you were talking him and Emi Martinez. So not getting one of the 2 of them, and as I say, Pep doing the usual thing of throwing 2 at every position. I thought Trafford was going to get a goal in terms of Jack Grealish is a homegrown player out. Trafford is a homegrown player in, and I thought he was going to be the man, and hence he found his way into my draft last night, thinking that was an outstanding pick for second goalkeeper. But I think that might have been a wee bit too far-fetched, because as I say, if you dangle a world-class player who's got European Championship medal and now champion of Europe and the treble in France, it's too juicy a carrot for Pep not to take. So moving on from that, I would say United squad, it's got its holes elsewhere, and it's going to take it's going to take a fair old go to climb that many places in the league. But to be fair, a team like United shouldn't be anywhere near that position in the league. So for United to climb 10 places, quite conceivable. And as you know, that should achieve Champions League football, all providing the 5 that's got in this year, they can improve and perform pretty well in the Champions League this coming season. Shane, you're a wee bit in and out, and this is the pitfalls, I say, of our existence. And to be fair, me and Shane are probably about both lies probably about 6 or 7 kilometers apart. So he's clearly finding a few more technical glitches up his part at the minute. I think the idea is to do this in person some nights as well, Shane, isn't it? Seeing as, we're not miles and miles apart. Shane.
Hello?
How you fixed?
Back again.
Back again.
I don't know. That's very stuffy at my end.
I was making a great point as well about goalkeepers and United's need. But as I say, we'll keep it moving. As I say, I like the business Liverpool's done this summer. Immensely surprised about the acquisition of Florian Wirtz, an absolute world-class talent, unbelievable amount of money, unbelievable opportunity. You get him at a time when he's one of the best players in the Bundesliga and glaring need for Liverpool goals from midfield. I think he could provide and set up quite a few goals, and I think he's going to have a flourishing relationship with Mohamed Salah. Florian Wirtz, please. Sure.
I suppose the worry, well, I don't watch much Bundesliga, but is that why Bayern let any of the top players leave the league, whether they couldn't get him or just couldn't afford him or what it was, I don't know. But as I've said from the word go in the clips that I've watched, him looks very tidy in the ball, but very weak upper body, which mightn't suit him. But the only thing that's going to save him in that is that the amount of possession that Liverpool have on the edge of a box. He's not really going to engage that much. So he should work. He has to work, but he's a marked man too. It's like I see any of these big money signings going on. I thought Enzo was pretty poor for a year with Chelsea. I suppose that pressure's on you from the word go, but no, he looks very, very, very tidy in the ball now, to be fair to him. Like David Silva, but I would just worry for his upper body strength. In bigger games, tougher games. But then, this day and age, you can't really get away with that much physicality anyway, so maybe it'll work in his favour too.
Yeah, see, I think gone are the days that the really truly physicality being a huge factor in the game. Now, I think that's it's a bygone era now. Hence why you see the real bustling talents now are quite on the slight side. Your Jamal Musialas and your Desiree Douys and your Barcolas and your Pedris and Gavi and Yamin Lamal. There's nobody huge amongst that group, and yet they're all bossing their respective leagues now at the minute. So that's what this kid is. I think he's got Ballon d'Or qualities about him, and it's only a case if he picks up the rhythm and the speed of the Premier League, which will be a bit faster than the Bundesliga, and I'm pretty sure Liverpool's level of dominance in the possession game, I think it'll suit him. There's not going to be as much chasing as he would have faced with Leverkusen. So he's one I would have been very happy to get my hands on last night during the draft, but unfortunately, just a few picks too late, and our colleague swooped in and got him and has him. So the big talking horse, obviously, today, as of this morning, is Alexander Isak. And the breaking news at 10:30 tonight is he's shopping in Cheshire. So the house is up for rent on Tyneside, and he is now shopping in Cheshire. So I did state earlier on that I think the moves is as close as it's ever been, and I think the money now would be much more in line with like a £120 million bid with another 5 in add-ons, and I think a total outlay of 125 million. And I think perhaps Newcastle's probably done themselves out of an extra 25 million by really not expressing the willingness to sell a lot earlier. And had they done so, it probably would have stood a better chance in attracting one of these other strikers that have gone elsewhere.
The Isaac one, I suppose, it's the proverbial money has ruined football. Under contract, fair enough, but I don't think he's covered himself in any glory. And as I've said earlier too, that in 2 years' time, when Madrid want him, and does he throw the dummies out of the pram again? Fair enough. Nobody really wanted him when Newcastle bought him. He's had 2 good seasons. He didn't. I think he only missed 4 games last year, right? But that level of money outlaid on a man that's hamstrings can go at any time. You lose a man. You could lose him for, if he tears it, I suppose you could lose him for what 6 to maybe 12 weeks, depending on how bad that it is. But I just think if Liverpool get him, just might as well just wrap Europe up, the whole thing up. I don't see PSG, fair enough, but I think it's all over, to be honest. I think it's all over before it starts.
You couldn't match him with firepower at that rate.
No, and like the day and age of a fast man up front is kind of pointless apart from counter-attacking teams, and Liverpool's not that. So pace is kind of non-existent now, but his finishing is as good as to me. His finish is as good as anybody. That's the best in the league. So I think it's Newcastle. I would love for United to do it with Garnacho, but he'll move on somewhere. But some of these teams have to throw one of them in the reserves and just stay there if you want. You know, it's getting beyond now that a contract means nothing. So it doesn't matter what wage a man's on. If he wants to go, he just goes, well, I'm not playing. Like, we're not privy to what goes on in contracts, but I don't understand why players, well, if you're not going to play or train, that's fair enough. I mean, if any jobs that are run, if you don't go to work, you don't get paid. So I think football needs to wrestle the power back off these men that's getting that type of money. I know that's a very idealistic way to go on, but I think it's getting. It'll come to the stage that if players could decide at any point, no matter what club they're at, that I don't want to stay here anymore and I'm gone. And look, I've watched it United for years, players getting, but that's the wages they were given. Like, they're after that Baliba man now and his wages 12.5 grand. Go back 4 or 5 years, United probably would have threw 300 at him, and you probably would get him for 50 a week. But it's kind of the stupidity of football is gone now. But no, I think if Isaac goes to Liverpool, I think it's just a procession. It's kind of like there's a league behind it from second to fifth as a league on its own. So as I say, it's not the best time for me to be starting a podcast now when a domination could be starting.
Well, there's a bit of fun to be had for the chase as well for European football again when you're certainly not taking part in it. But who do you see as the main threat then to Liverpool for the title then? If it boils down to one team again, putting it up to them, who's going to be?
To be fair, and I don't rate the man either, as Arsenal. Arsenal's defence is that strong. I've never seen Zubimendi play, so I don't know nothing about him. If Gyökeres can score 15 goals, then he could add 9, 12 points, so they definitely get closer. I don't think they have the mentality. I think he's a clown, so I don't think they have the one mentality to push them over the line. I think he's just, if you take light bulbs into a dressing room, you should be told where the door is, or pickpocketers into a restaurant. I think he's the. If it was like you watch Mike Bassett in 1998, that's stuff like that. Brian Clough wouldn't have come up with stuff like that. So he would have been, well, he might have been called a genius for doing it, but no. Arsenal led by a different man. Arsenal could probably match Liverpool, but no, not with him in charge. They'll go a second, maybe by Paddy's Day. They're still knocking about, definitely, but no, when the pressure comes on, definitely not. I don't think City will be anywhere near it. He's lost Rodri again. So I don't know, Donnarumma. I don't know. They haven't replaced De Bruyne, so I don't see them doing anything there at all. And he's ruined Grealish. Grealish away to Everton now. £100 million man. There's not many teams can afford that. Can afford to sign a man, leave him on the bench for a year, play him a year, throw him on the bench for another year, and all he done was like a lot of times when he was there. You know, but no, nowhere near it. Chelsea, no, I don't think so. They'll huff and puff, but no, they'll be nowhere near the title anyway. They'll definitely finish the top four, all right. There. I think there'll be another mini league, and hopefully United will be involved in it from 5th to 7th. But then again, who wants to be in that Europa League? You know, 5th might get Champions League, all right, but I think the Europa's a poison. So, who do you see as who could push us? I genuinely don't see, even without Isaac, I don't see anybody different winning it than Liverpool. So,
Arsenal again is the team for me, yeah, because hard to ignore the business. Victor Gyökeres was the top available striker, in my opinion. It's only become later that Sesko and Akachike and Isaac have become available. And sure, look, Liverpool wanted Zubimendi last summer, and quite frankly, wasn't courageous enough to take the jump to England last summer, but has seen enough now and already has a mate there to help him bed in. They'll be that wee bit more consistent this year, and that 10-point gap now will be a bit closer, I would think, this year. But when you get the guy that refuses to call a pre-season game a friendly, and he calls them a test, yeah, you talk about the Mike Bassett stuff. A friendly game is a friendly game, and it's a game for throwing in the mixed first teamers and the under 21s, and not giving the full squad until the last game of the preseason and getting them fully revved up. Hence why you've seen Liverpool's absolute best in the first 11 against Palace on Sunday. It's Arsenal for me, and I do have a sneaking suspicion Chelsea could be sneaking into the conversation as well as title challenger, because Enzo Maresca has been slowly frozen by quite the few ins and outs, and he is quick to act, and obviously it's moving on from Jackson, Nicholas Jackson, and obviously it's in with João Pedro, and it's out with Noni Madueke, and it's here we go again with another group of new faces. So you know and you don't know with Chelsea, and that's the the random factor about them.
The way I look at Chelsea is that you see them, you'll see men with that all the consoles they had since they were wee in the one room. It's just he'll try the PlayStation one day, the next day he's on to the Xbox, and he'll go back then. There's no rhyme or reason, and through having that many options, something's bound to work at some stage. Like Neto was one of the finest players in the league, and he goes there and he does one or two good things and make me sing for weeks. He's Madueke, some say that he's mad, let him go, but I wouldn't have been selling him to a direct rival anyway. I don't really rate him that much, but it just seems a bit mad. He can't make up his midfield, the defence. I don't know. I wouldn't put the house on them now, but I think is it Porro? Who did they sign up front? Pedro? Who did they sign from Bray? Aye, he looks very decent. Poor old Delap. Like Delap's it's like the dog that you got for Christmas, but you get a better dog 2 days after it, and the first dog's thrown to the one side. I think he was.
I wouldn't just throw out the bets on Delap just yet. Now he's got that bit of I would say a bit of Cole Palmer sort of pizzazz about him as well, that he might just muscle his way in and stay in there as well.
He can finish now. To be fair, he's a
Yeah,
man.
Wouldn't just give up on that. I think the championship's an excellent breeding ground for the strikers nowadays.
But I don't know who takes Jackson. I'm assuming he'll leave on loan or something in the last day. I don't know. No, doesn't too many takers at all for him.
He screams at deadline day stuff like this, especially when Newcastle is seriously dragging their heels. Still haven't got Whistle over the line, and as I say, as every day goes by, they're missing forward possibility. So I wouldn't be able to tell you where Newcastle's heads are at. We're due to play them third.
Or is it second?
I think we're playing Bournemouth, Arsenal, Newcastle.
Right. It's hard not, like Vissa never stood out for me now, so he's not going to replace Isaac, so nobody else going to replace Isaac. That's the only thing. Sesko maybe if they'd have got him, or Joker. Well, I suppose they have never for Joker, but I've beat the drum for long enough. I don't understand why United never went for Watkins either. He's proven.
Do you know what? Just interrupt. St James's Park, Monday week.
Yes, second game is it?
Second game in.
Aye.
So Liverpool playing Friday night, and then a longer wait then to the Monday Night Football then the next weekend. And
yes.
St James's Park will be hopping.
Aye, and if Isaac's in, I can't imagine him getting the best welcome in the world now. But
well, needless to say, he's not going to be in the black and white. Will he be in the red?
They'll surely hold out to laugh that, you'd imagine. I can't imagine them letting him go before that, even though he's not going to play for them.
There's still a full week of the window after that. So, but that would be kind of the mind now. The Isaac one is any day now.
Yes. See, I don't see who Newcastle go and spend that money on. I don't understand Newcastle's position anyway. On the Chelsea have proven there's loopholes around it. Forest spent a small fortune and just took the point deduction. Newcastle one's a strange one. Why they don't just spend. City.
Well, I think they have to look after the PSR problem first and foremost with the money.
Well, sure, City have proven they've done it since 2008. They can do what they want, and that's 20 years on, and God knows what's happening to that. So,
115 charges, and the prediction is we'll see the results this season.
Yes. Well, see, I was surprised Pep didn't. If Pep had won the league there past, Pep would have walked because he. But I suppose now he has something to try and prove, to try and get it back off. But
when they started dropping L after L last season, I just think the chip on his shoulder would have been too big for him to walk away. He wouldn't walk away from a losing side, and he would rather walk out with a title. So it's just, will he be wise enough to know if it's going poorly again this season just to step away?
But you see, he has that much credit in the bank from 3/4 of the world that he can, he could do that. It's seen as he done what he could. He's a genius and so on. But
falling out of love with the game, could it happen somewhere in the middle of the season and he just goes, nah, City's not doing it for me anymore?
Well, I've said plenty about Pep over the years, but that's what I would like to see with Pep as I see your man McEntee now is going to Forest, and I've seen a picture there. Chelsea have 6 players that they released in Pep's time, signed now.
How much are they selling McEntee for?
25, I think I've seen. But I've never seen what we've told as the Messiah of football. If you had a poor manager and he kept buying, name Ten Hag, spent a fortune, bought poor players, sacked, and didn't really take anybody young through. But that's my yardstick for Pep as we're being told he's the best ever. Then surely in your time at 7 years, take a replacement for De Bruyne through. And I just like Rodri last year went out. As in nobody he's seen in the youths he could have taken through. Look, take his check, take his bank card off him. He's nothing. So, but I'm not going to obsess with that.
If City spending money this summer, it should have been on Morton. It should have been on Morton to cover up that Rodri problem, just to future-proof it.
Because it doesn't look good for Rodri at all, whatever the issue is. It's a pity because he was worth a watching.
It's till after the first international break, isn't it?
And Kovacic is out till October, I think. And I don't know who they have left. And the 2 new fellas they signed. The Cherokee fella now, to be fair, looks alright. I know nothing about the other fella, to be honest. I don't think I've ever seen him play. Yeah, but Foden's completely off the boil, so unless he comes back into it, Savinho could go to Spurs. Grealish is away now to enjoy himself with Moyes. Doku can beat a man once and frustrate you for 2 weeks. So I don't know. The laughable thing about it is Pep could nearly dip again. And whether he dips for, what do you call your man at, is it Rodrigo at Madrid? They want rid of. So whether he goes for him or not. But I don't know whether Madrid would sell Pep a man or not. They wouldn't give him on the cheap, I
think Vinicius is starting to look around as well.
Aye. But and all the time I'm very surprised that Pep didn't try and get Bellingham in his time. I know he's at Madrid, it's hard to get a man out of Madrid, but I thought he would have pushed for him. Especially when Rodri got injured, they can just give a massive bid, hopefully he would come, but then again, I don't know whether he'd mix it in the league or not. I think he's very overrated as well. Where did the brothers away to Dortmund?
Oh, Job, yeah.
Aye. So I think on thinking midfielders, I think Xhaka for Sunderland, I think is a great signing. But a head case with Arsenal, alright, suppose still a bit of head case with Leverkusen, but he'll make them interesting at least.
with Jordan Henderson coming back into the league.
Aye, one of the most functional captains I've ever seen in my life. He has nothing left to prove in my eyes. He was obviously didn't work out for every went. I thought he left Liverpool, whether he was told to go. I thought it was mental him leaving Liverpool at the time, but he's. I think they've signed a lot of players. To be fair, I didn't really look who they signed, but I think they've signed a lot.
So the tonight links big time are Liverpool and centre halves, and I say plural. So obviously Mark Gahey, they're in advanced negotiations now for a fee with Crystal Palace for Mark Gahey. The word is 35 million for him, and also not dwelling on their laurels. 18-year-old Giovanni Leone from Parma, 35 million euro deal for him. Possibly a loan back idea as well for a season. 18 years old, massive. If you can't replace Virgil van Dijk, you can possibly do it in the aggregate. 5'11" Mark Gahey, 6'5" Giovanni Leone.
Well, who is Gahey coming in? Who is he coming in to replace? I'm sure he's not coming to sit on the bench.
Well, if you look at any squad depth charts for Liverpool, Reece Williams is still backing up Virgil van Dijk. So you have Konate and Joe Gomez on one side, and then behind that you've got Wataru Endo and Ryan Gravenberch.
Yes.
So in terms of the game time for Mark Gahey, I think it speaks for itself. I think he would definitely take Joe Gomez's spot in the team, and I think it would be functional and highly wise to start rotating the still yet to be tied down Konate, and obviously nearing the end Virgil van Dijk, and an absolutely exquisite bit of business if you can pull it off.
What was Van Dijk after that second goal? Was he really trying to play offside? And what the hell was he doing? Like, surely, I'm always on about his awareness behind him, but surely he was looking across a line that I couldn't understand. Like, if that happened in the Donegal League, you'd be like, Jesus, sir, cop on. I know at the end of the day it's only a community scene, whatever you call it now, but don't know. I think
the great Bob Paisley said it perfectly. He said, "Doesn't matter the winning of the Community Shield. It's just important to get back in it next year."
Well, true. I don't know. I think Van Dijk could get found out a wee bit.
I would suggest to you, I would say that forward line of Palace is a wee bit lively, and if there's anything that gets Van Dijk agitated, I think Van Dijk was suffering a bit of an illness last week, which kept him out of the Bilbao games. I would say he was just coming off that, just not fully revved up, and I would just suggest to you the Sarr, Mateta, Eze onslaught was just 90 minutes concentration that he just didn't keep.
I think what's saving Van Dijk, particularly after the injury that he got, is that the Premier League, as I was saying earlier about counter-attacking teams, Liverpool don't get stretched that often, so he doesn't get exposed that much. No, he still has pace about him, but I just think his awareness for a top end defender behind him, particularly, is atrocious. Often, he doesn't really see danger behind him. I know people pick at him saying it's this aura around him that he thinks he has this wee bubble around about him that nobody comes near him. But I can see where people's coming from, and that like he always, as I say, he sends a dog to do his work. It's very intelligent defending, but I think if Liverpool start to get stretched a bit this year, I think Konate has serious recovery pace. I'm not sure about Gahey now, but he'll need something. Van Dijk could cost Liverpool a bit this year, in my opinion. Now, and that's not a bias against what I've said for years, but he's a year older. Look, at the end of the day, but if Liverpool maintain the level of possession they have, they shouldn't have too much worry. I suppose it's against the bigger teams, but then again, it's against the likes of Palace. It'll break on you, as if Frimpong and who's the other end? Okay. Who is left back? Will it be Robertson or?
I think it'll be Kirkhead.
You know what? Let him to get used to it. I don't think Frimpong gets back that much. So Liverpool could be a wee bit of a weak link with them on that. That's why I think Konate has to stay. And I know he's doing what the usuals do, and they just run by the contract. But I think you're better with him. He knows what Van Dijk's about. So as much as people call him world class, there's definitely a kink in Van Dijk with awareness. And I suppose for the most part, he thinks himself that nobody does kind of go near him, so he doesn't really. Maybe it's a concentration thing. Does let him down at times, but I can't see your man leaving Palace to go and sit on the bench. So unless Konate just gets the road and gets rotated in for, I know there's a lot of Champions League games. I suppose that's the only thing that's going to.
There's a lot of games.
I suppose I'm looking from a United point of view. They're going to be playing. And I don't. Do they appear in the second round of the Carabao this year? Is it from 12th down, or how does that work?
I'm
not right sure in that now, but
I'm not right sure in that one as well. But you're right. There is omissions down far enough. Shane, sadly, I'm going to have to plug in very soon. So I think at 42 minutes, I'm going to have to wrap this up here. So closing arguments as to why Man United's going to win on Sunday.
Well, who's at home on Sunday?
I think he's having.
I think it's at home. United's at home. Well, I think Amron proved that he can definitely beat the bigger sides. They're more set up to beat bigger sides, but I just think based on last year how poor they were, and Paddy Hoyland's going to move on, but he wasn't great last year. Now, to be fair, United have added at least 10 to 15 goals to 20 between the two. Well, never mind Sesko, but the two Premier League men at the side. So Arsenal have more to worry about with United than they did last year, so it changes the game a bit. And I find United decent at the back. So, and if any man knows how to handle Gyökeres, it's going to be Amron. So I'll be quietly confident of a 2-1 win.
2-1 win for United, and I will take Arsenal going down 3 points immediately. I'm the same. I think Amram wants to get out of the traps quick this time around with this. Now, obviously, he had the 6-month dress rehearsal. I've heard good noises out of the players that they've enjoyed their time with Amram over the summertime. And I just think Mbemo and Maz and Ahmad flying down the right wing. I think whoever Arsenal decide to play at left back, Lewis Skelly or Calafiori, don't know which way to look. And just the Old Trafford crowd is going to be absolutely raucous. I'm with you. 2-1 to United. And I think on Friday night, the big opener, and I do love a first game of the season, and I think this is obviously the obvious game to throw in a charity bet, and a charity bet is something close to our hearts. I think we'll always try and throw one in, and whenever we get around to it, obviously we'll try and build up a bit of a kitty until we get a worthwhile charitable organisation to donate to. I'll leave that up to suggestion by viewers and the chat. I wouldn't have the best knowledge of who would be the most needy of such a thing, but sure, look, between myself and Shane, we love having a wee dabble, and as I say, a wee fiver each thrown in for a game or two over the Premier League weeks. I think no harm whatsoever. So Shane, throw me a good suggestion for Liverpool v Bournemouth on Friday night, please.
Liverpool, through the time you see my best a bit all over the place, but Liverpool -3. So I don't know what the odds that is. Liverpool -3 and an upset for City in the first day. Wolves to hold them, not to beat them, but to hold them. And United to beat Arsenal. That's bound to be decent odds, but I don't know what that is. But I think Liverpool first night. Who's there at home, aren't they? Aye.
Yeah. Home opener.
It'll be because they have lost. Have they? They've more or less lost their entire defence, have they not? Have Bournemouth not sold? Well, Yusuf the left.
Yeah, it's just Zarani that's hanging about now. It's definitely still on the market.
Because they got a wild fortune for some fellow. Did he go to Sporting? Or who did he? No, it wasn't Sporting. He went. He got 67 million for somebody. I don't know who it was. Another centre half. Only moved there last week.
Was that Zarani?
I don't know who he went to. It could have been PSG. You know,
obviously Hyson's away. Or Real Madrid actually. So that's the two excellent centre halves gone now. So I would sort of have the same idea. It wouldn't be the first time Liverpool's opened the league campaign with a 4-0. So I think you'll get Ekitike on the score sheet. You'll get a Salah penalty to make up for the mishap and the Community Shield.
Is he still on them?
Huh?
Is he still on them?
Is he still on them?
Aye, holy Jesus.
He's missed a couple in a row. He's missed a couple in a row now, so he's definitely hit this year in practice anyway, Shane. So rest assured that way. A Salah penalty, and I think you'll get. I think one of the fullbacks will score, and I think one of the centre halves will score, and 3 up.
I see.
Friday night.
15-4. They are -3, and United are 5-2, and Wolves draw 7-2. Jesus, that's going to be serious odds, and they're all together. So that's more or less a 4-1, nearly another 4-1, and what did I say United were? That's 2.5. So 3, a 4, and a 4. Bunch together. I don't see them accumulated there, but it's decent out odds now.
So is that a Liverpool handicap, United win, and City Wolves draw?
Aye. What else can I just get it here quick?
If you can just do them sums now, Shane, that'll be delightful. If we had like a figure for the first charity bet of the show.
Handicap. -3. Aye, so Liverpool are definitely they're 4-1 for that. And who did I say? Wolves, City draw, and United won. 75-1.
75-1.
It's out there, but I can see Wolves taking points off City. They haven't. I don't know that Wolves have lost that many, have they? Many men. Al-Nouri. Acuna. Oh, well, maybe. Aye. It's worth a rattle.
Perhaps the only man that could find the net for Wolves has left them. So it's Strand Larson up front now. So he's your guy for the big late equaliser. Is it at Molyneux or is it the Etihad?
It's at Molyneux as well. So
well, sure, that's sweet indeed.
The SPL is all over already. So
4 points ahead already.
I don't know how true it is, but Paddy Power supposedly have paid out on Celtic, but I don't know how true that is now.
No, Jesus, Shane, at least wait till 3 fixtures in with the.
Aye, but they didn't play tonight, or is it tomorrow night? I think it's tomorrow night they play.
In what competition?
The Champions League qualifier. They're 3 up. against that Victoria. Is it Victoria Pleasant or Pelsen? What you call them? There's 3 up in the first leg.
Oh, so looking at that, I'm sure that'll be the focus.
Aye. I think Shelburne went out tonight too. They were 2-1 up, but they could beat 4-1 at home tonight.
No.
Or 3-1 now. That was against Europa.
So are they out? They're out of Europa.
Aye, but I think they automatically drop into the conference. I think.
Oh, sure, that's what you want.
Aye.
That's what you want for Shelburne. Drop into the conference.
Aye. So, 75-1. I'll get that on, and we can. Great to start with 760 in the kitty after the first week.
No, absolutely. I'm going to back that as well. Absolutely, I'm going to back that as well. I'm sure, Jesus Christ, I'll be absolutely in tears if that one comes off.
Aye. Get off like
it's notifications on Saturday. Anyway, that's for sure.
Aye, but sure. We'll wrap it up there, sure.
Aye, Shane, that's been a joy. So
yes, we'll see you Monday.
God knows when we'll pick this up again. Aye, sure. Look, I'd love to nail down a day. But sure, look, we'll try and aim it for somewhere in the start of the week anyway. If we can do Monday's regular, brilliant. If not, we can do at least an attempt at a day around that anyway. So that'll be the idea going forward anyway.
Perfect.
All right, Shane. Have a good night to yourself.
Good luck.